Owlboy is a story-driven, pixel art action-adventure platformer developed by D-Pad Studio and released in 2016. Players control Otis, a mute owl humanoid who can fly, as he embarks on a journey to save this village from sky pirates, recruiting friends with unique abilities to help him fight enemies and solve puzzles. The game is known for its detailed pixel graphics, engaging story, and blend of flight-based platforming with Metroidvania-style exploration and challenging boss battles. After looking up some info for this game, I've realized that many people complain about some of the mechanics, so I decided I need to revisit it sometime soon. It's been over 5 years since I beat it, but I remember loving it, especially the story and getting to collect everything. Either way, it's a beautiful, unique game, so I definitely recommend at least checking it out if you find it for a good deal. I planned to only get a couple of minutes of gameplay, but ended up playing almost 30 minutes before making myself stop. This game still seems great to me, and I plan on going through the entire thing again soon. Up next is Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. It's a 2.5D side-scrolling action-adventure platformer in the Metroidvania genre, released in January of 2024 by Ubisoft. Players control Sargon, a warrior of the Immortals, on a quest to rescue the kidnapped Prince Ghassan from the time-cursed Mount Quaff. The game features a deep combat system with parries and time-based powers, challenging platforming, a large interconnected world with distinct biomes, and quality-of-life features like map pins and accessibility options. I personally think this was supposed to be a sequel to Immortal Phoenix Rising, but that game sold much worse than they wanted, so they changed the name to Prince of Persia to try to get more sales, which doesn't seem to have helped since Ubisoft has apparently disbanded the team that made this, and if my info is correct, they also shut down a sequel to this game even though they apparently brag about it now. Ubisoft is unique to say the least. Either way, this game deserves to be played even though Ubisoft has something to do with it. Lost Epic is a 2D side-scrolling action RPG with Metroidvania elements about a war between gods and humanity. Become a knight and set out across the sanctuaries to overthrow the 6 gods of the world. Combine attacks and divine skills to create intense combos. Each weapon has a unique move called a divine skill. Use skill points to make a character build all your own. Give yourself the advantage in battle by upgrading your character's stats with your weapon's strengths in mind. Complete quests and reap the rewards. Earn rewards that will help you grow stronger and see stories unfold by completing quests given by a diverse cast of characters. You can also craft items along the way for an advantage. This game is incredibly beautiful and looks similar to a Vanillaware game. It may be considered a 2D action RPG, but it has heavy Metroidvania elements and should be labeled one in my opinion. I highly recommend it if you find this for a good deal. Record of Lotus War Deedlit in Wonder Labyrinth is a 2D Metroidvania-style action RPG developed by Team Ladybug. Featuring the High Elf Deedlit exploring a mysterious labyrinth, the game is heavily inspired by Castlevania Symphony of the Night and allows players to use sword and arrow attacks, swap elemental spirits for different abilities, and level up spirits by absorbing enemy souls. It tells a previously untold story within the Record of Lotus War franchise, serving as a prequel to Diadem of the Covenant, which is a 3-volume manga series that has never come to the West in any form, not even fan translation. This game is incredible if you enjoyed any of the Castlevania games similar to Symphony of the Night. The art and music are fantastic. I can't remember having any complaints about this one. The original anime is definitely worth a watch as well. I would like to see more developers take random anime from the 80s to turn them into something like this. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is a 2019 action RPG developed by Artplay and published by 505 Games. Known for its exploration-focused side-scrolling Metroidvania gameplay. Players control Miriam, an orphan afflicted by a curse that crystallizes her body as she explores a demon-infested castle to save herself and humanity. The game was designed by Koji Igarashi, a key figure in the Castlevania series, and was a record-breaking crowdfunded project on Kickstarter. This game was a bit of a broken mess on Switch when it originally came out. I still loved almost every second of it, and it has since been updated multiple times to create an even better, smoother experience. This game is definitely a love letter to Symphony of the Night, and it is definitely worth your time. Axiom Verge is a 2015 indie Metroidvania action-adventure game developed by Thomas Happ Games, also known as just Thomas Happ because it's one dude that made this game. Known for its retro aesthetic, intricate world design, and deep sci-fi narrative, players control Trace, a scientist who awakens in a mysterious alien world after a lab accident, and must explore a sprawling, interconnected environment to uncover secrets, find weapons and upgrades, and battle bizarre enemies. The game features a unique glitch gun that can corrupt enemies and alter the environment, adding a layer of innovation to the classic Metroidvania formula. This is by far the closest thing to an actual Metroid game. It gives off Metroid vibes constantly with the gameplay and visuals. This game was made by one person, and I always try to support individual developers anytime I can. There's also a sequel, which is incredible as well. It's just a little different in ways. Still a great game, and I highly recommend checking both out. Dust, an Elysian Tale, is not an arcade game, but rather a 2012 action role-playing game developed by one-man team Dean Dodrell, and released on Xbox Live Arcade, which is where I originally played it. It features a hand-drawn art style, a beat-em-up combat system with combo chains, and Metroidvania-style exploration. The game was later ported to PC, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch. Thankfully, since I had already played it on Xbox 360, I was on top of it when Limited Run announced a copy. It sure has been going up in price, but not enough people talk about it. You should definitely try it out, even if you have to get it digitally. Especially since it was created by one person. That is about the only way I can ever justify buying digital. I'm always happy to double dip if it helps independent developers. Salt and Sanctuary is a 2D action RPG developed by Ska Studios that blends the challenging combat and exploration of the Dark Souls series with Metroidvania elements. Players control a shipwrecked sailor on a mysterious island, exploring a vast, interconnected world filled with traps, secrets, and brutal enemies. The game features deep character customization through a complex skill tree, a wide variety of weapons and armor, and a unique sanctuary system for claiming checkpoints and recruiting NPCs. This is the first Souls-like game I ever beat, and it was an incredible feeling. The skill tree and other mechanics is a blast to learn and master. If you want an easy way to win for beginners, I would recommend a mage build, for sure. It made most bosses so much easier. Ori and the Blind Forest is a 2015 Metroidvania action platformer developed by Moon Studios and published by Microsoft Studios for Xbox One and PC. Later released on Nintendo Switch, players control Ori, a guardian spirit in a visually stunning, hand-drawn world to restore balance to the dying forest of Nibel by exploring, solving puzzles, and gaining new abilities to access previously inaccessible areas. The game is known for its emotional story, captivating orchestral soundtrack, and challenging yet rewarding gameplay. This game was one of the few that saved gaming for me when I unfortunately downgraded to an Xbox One after loving the 360 so much. It still amazes me how far down Xbox has gone from being the best during the 360 days. It's so sad and disappointing, but at least this beautiful game and its sequel came to an actual good console finally. If you have not played Ori, drop everything and go do it now. It's a masterpiece and needs to be praised more. Dead Cells is a 2018 roguelike action platformer developed by Motion Twin. combining elements of the Metroidvania and Souls-like genres. Players control a failed alchemic experiment, the Prisoner, who must fight through a procedurally generated, ever-changing island to escape and defeat the king. The game features fast-paced, fluid combat, a permadeath system where players lose items upon death, and a progression system where collected currency, cells, allows for permanent upgrades and unlocks, ensuring each run feels meaningful. They just would not stop updating this game. They did a handful of free updates and some massive paid ones as well. It has definitely evolved from the game I played back then. They've added hundreds of new items and things to collect. It may be a roguelike, but there are many permanent things you can get. There are blueprints which give different weapons and abilities. The blueprints don't go away as long as you drop them off at a certain place during your runs. It sure did help motivate me to continue since there was always something to work towards no matter how fast I die. I probably put a couple hundred hours into this when I originally got it. There are 6 difficulties and I beat 5 of them. One day, I will practice again and try beating the final one again. Until then, I will just praise this game constantly. Go play it. Leave your top 10s and any suggestions you have down below. Until next time, hope you all have a great day. Bye.